little bit.
All right.
Oh boy.
And I want to slide. I want to slide a little bit. I'm laughing and I'm kind of just honestly what kind of got me for just a minute is that I saw my brother when his name came across here. I was like, oh God. But at the end of the day, yes, hey babe, I love you, boy, you know it. And my brother is a very big protector of me. You know what I mean? He really, truly, honestly is like the only, growing up, he was the only daddy that figure that I ever saw in my life. And with that, I say all of that because it's just like, Beans, I know you love me, but I got to speak my truth, baby. I do. I know sometimes you don't agree with me with some of the things that I say, but there was this story that came out 1 something in the morning that was a straight lie. And I'm talking to you as my brother because I want you to hear me. And I'm talking to everybody else. It was a straight lie. And if I sit back and not open my mouth, then that's something that I feel that is not right. And it's time for me to speak regardless of if people agree with me or not. And so with all of that being said, there was a story that came out from my ex-husband, Jamie Long, last night. It was a letter from his camp or an email from his camp that was sent. And it was the most horrific lie. It was so strategically put together to try to bring a couple of things that I went through in my life, even when I worked at White Castles. It was trying to say that it was put together as if when he met me, this was where I was in my life, which in fact was not so. It also entailed when I worked at a place called MTF. And yes, I did work at White Castles by choice. When you come from a place where you give your life to the Lord, there are some things that you don't know that you have. Meaning that I didn't know that I was so prideful. And I remember when I didn't have to go to White Castles. I made the choice to go because I said to God, I need for you to humble me. When I was working at White Castles, I had people calling me, asking me, Pam, can you come do this song for 5 G's? Can you do this song for this amount of money, that amount of money? And my response was no. The reason why I said no is because God told me no. I worked at White Castles for over 3 months. And when I say that people would walk inside, come in and stand there and say, some would say, yes, that is her. Some would come and some would be like, Pam, like, I ain't gonna out you. Yo, sis, like, yo, what you doing here? And, I would talk to them and I'd be like, I'm here, I'm working or whatever. And then, I'd be like, I'm working. I'd be like, yo, but you holding up the line, though. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have a full conversation. I'm working the register. But with all of that being said, the people don't know the reason or the depth as to why I went there. I had to go there because I had to humble myself under the mighty hand of God. And I said to God, I said, if I'm supposed to go to White Castles, I said to him, I said, let me get hired. And when I walked in White Castles, they hired me on the spot. I walked out and I started crying because I knew. I was like, yo, I knew that I had to go through this thing. So it's just like it was a choice for me to be there. And I remember a friend of mine at the time, she said to me, she's like, just quit. And I said, I can't. And God began to, it was almost like he began to promote me. It's like a graduation. When I left that place, he took me to a picture place. Mm-hmm. But when I left the picture place, packing pictures and doing the little spots on the pictures, you know what I mean? It was just like God was humbling me. Yeah, I worked at a picture place. You know how like when the kids take pictures at school, it's like, yeah. And I had to put like, you see like a little mark there. I had to fill the little marks in and all that stuff. I had to do all of that, right? So it was just like he began to promote me. And then how I got to MTF, I had no qualifications whatsoever. But it was God himself. I was making at White Castles $7.50.
Wow.
And it was just like on the weekends I was making $8 and some change. But it was just like, yo, and they calling me saying, Pete, can you come do this record? I remember one of the guys from Bad Boy, he called me, and I won't mention his name. And when I told him no about the record, he was like, what are you, he's like, what are you doing? Because by then everybody knew. Wendy Williams knew that I was, you know, basically working at White Castles and all of this stuff. But it was something that God was doing with me. And every place that he took me to, it was like I was ministering to people.
Share, you guys.
So it was just like, so it was just like I had to go and through this process because he was processing me out. But at the same time, too, he was sending me forward to people, you know. So it's just like, that's one of the things that, you know, it was grouped in this whole email. And just to really talk about the email, like I said, it was loaded with so many fabrications, so many lies. And Beanie, I'm sorry to say this, but I know you feel the same as I do. But this joker lied even on my mother. He said that my mother wanted me to get married to a man because my choice was women. And my mom, my mom didn't want me to be with women, so she wanted me to marry him, you know, because he was a man. He also said that in our marriage that he was, I lived in my mother's basement, which in fact, I didn't just live there, he did as well too. Come on, somebody. You came from Texas and you moved up here and you lived with me in my mother's basement until you lied to me and we told me we was going to Atlanta, and we wound up in Alabama. As we drove past Atlanta, and I looked up, I said, Atlanta right there. He said, just a little further. We just a little outside of Atlanta. It was 2 hours later, we make a stop. And you remember when I said I wasn't living there, right? Oh, you don't. You got amnesia? You got amnesia. I'm pretty sure you did. So let me help you to remind you of what it is that you said to me and how I was just like, I'm not living here, and how I cried at your sister, at your brother's place. You remember that? And you was like, please, please. And finally, of course, I stayed because of what? I was married to you. But you also stated that when we were together, that you was only with me for like 2 months. Really? I don't remember that, because you left, as you quote unquote, when you said to me, I left my son, I left everything. I never told you to leave your son. Never, ever told you to leave your son. But you lived with me in New Jersey. Then from New Jersey, we went to Alabama, and then from Alabama to Texas. So that sounds like more than 2 months, because we was married. We got married when 2013 to 2015, 16 was right before my mother passed away, is when you and I, the divorce happened. So now I want to talk about the divorce. Someone from, I don't think it was the neighborhood, I can't remember exactly who it was. The young lady had asked me for a comment. And I didn't respond right away. I just let it go. And I remember feeling like I needed to say something. I believe I got the okay from God to open my mouth, because I was still trying my best to cover you, because that's all I pretty much did, because of you being who you are. And you know who you are. Jamie, you know that you are nasty. You know that you are nasty, not just to me, but you've been nasty to your mother. You've been nasty to your sister, to your brother, to your family. I've seen it. I've seen it. They see it, but they don't speak up. And the reason why Pam got a lot of backlash, Pam, and let me just say one thing about Pam. Pam was never the perfect wife. Pam was never the one that was said that she was perfect. But what I did do is that I loved you, and I was trying to do what I thought I needed to do as a wife. But when I did not agree with you, and I didn't agree with the stuff that you was doing to some of your friends, that you treated men like they was little boys, and I said to you, Jamie, that's not right. Or the lady that was in the store, the woman of a different race, and I said something to you, and you blew up, and it's just like, oh, you gonna take their side, and you gonna do this, and you gonna do that. The same Jamie Long that said that he loved me, but the same Jamie Long that flew me across the bed at Kima's house. Come on, somebody. You want to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. The same Jamie Long that said that you wouldn't put your hands on me. The same Jamie Long that said that you love me. The same one that said that I was the beautiful girl and I was the dark-skinned woman that you saw in a dream, but I never saw your face. The same one that tracked me down on Twitter. You. That's the one I'm talking to. That I didn't know who you were. The one that before you and I got engaged, the one that said that you was up for 3 nights. It sounds like the story as far as with your new wife, the 3-day syndrome. That's what I'm going to call it tonight. The 3-day syndrome. When you said you was up for 3 days, and do you know what Proverbs 18 and 22 means, Pam? What it says? I said, no, Jamie, I don't know what it says, but I know what Proverbs 18 and 21 says. And then when you open it up, it said, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. And what did I do? I turned my face because I didn't want you to see my tears. Oh, you got me good with that one. Because I thought it was your heart that I was seeing. But no, I was seeing what I saw. I should have just listened to, because it's not your fault that I married you. It's mine. Because I knew. Because do you remember our conversation at the hotel when I told you that I didn't want to get married? I was like, I don't think we're ready yet. And that you blew up at the hotel the couple of nights, or either the night before we was going to get married. Do you remember that, Jamie? When you blew up and you was just like, yo, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. I'm going to go back to Texas. I don't know what I'm going to do. But because I was the girl that was broken, the girl that didn't love herself, that was insecure, and I thought that you was my big fish, that you was the greatest catch that I ever had, because I was looking at your inside, your outsides, the outside of you, just like your wife now mentioned about how handsome you are. That I can say absolutely. I went with what I saw. That's what I did. And what did I do? I didn't want to let you go. I didn't want to let you go because I didn't want to lose the catch. I didn't want to lose the catch. And then to address the fact of someone saying in the interview of me wanting to be married, why would I want to be married to somebody that treated me some sort of kind of way? Because of the fact that when I got married to you, I never wanted to separate. One thing with me is that I made a covenant before God. You told me that it was just a piece of paper. That's what you said to me. It was just a piece of paper. How about the man that forces himself on women? Do you remember that night? You want to go there? Come on. I don't think you really want to talk about you. So my thing is that all the lies, and like I said to anybody else, come on, hook me up to any machine that you want to hook me up to. But I don't think you can sit down and be comfortable hooked to something, telling all of these lies that you're saying. And then you're going to talk about me sleeping with women. I've never, and I told you before, because let's address this. I remember when you said something to me, and you said something about one of my friends. You was like, oh, is that your girl? And I said, Jamie, I said, how you going to say something to me like that? And you was like, I'm just playing. I was like, don't play with me like that. I said, because I know I know what I used to do. And I've said it before. I've never been gay. Have I slept with women? Yes, I have. Did I enjoy doing what I was doing? Yes, I did. But did Pam say that she was gay? I wasn't never gay. Listen, I was looking for something in somebody. I got the attention that I wanted. I got something that I felt like was going to make me feel better about myself. And that's what I got from the situation. Because if I was gay, that's what I would have said, that I was gay. But I do know that whatever it was that I was going through in my life, that God has delivered me. So if you want to talk something, please speak it from the truth, not from these lies. And then if those of you that didn't watch from the beginning of Pam's World, I encourage you to go back, because when Pastor first got on here, the first thing that she said was that I'm not gay. Because also in your letter, you alluded to the fact that my pastor and I had some type of relationship. The only relationship that we have is sisterhood. It's something that you do not understand, because you nobody's brother. Jesus. You're not a brother to any of the people that you're around. You are one who is trying to capitalize. That's who you are. So if you want to speak truth, we're going to speak truth. And then when it comes to the marriage, and it said, and I made a comment about us, and the young lady asked me, when was my divorce final? And I said February. And honestly, it was a miscommunication, because I actually went back and I said to her, because if it's in the story that is up right now saying that Pam is selfish. That's what you put out there. Pam was selfish of her to say selfish of me, to warn the woman that you're with now about who you really are. It wasn't selfish. It was me reaching out woman to somebody to say, hey, sister to sister, be careful, because this dude is a wolf in sheep's clothing, honey. And if nobody else knows it, I do. And his family knows it too. They just don't speak on it. So getting back to when Jamie and I were married and our divorce was final, in February, and I hit the young lady back from, I believe it was the neighborhood. I'm not sure which interview it was because it was only one. I can't remember the name. But what I did say, I said I do apologize because I did say February. And as a witness, my pastor, not just my pastor, but my friend is here. And I said to her, she said, well, what did you send? I said, because I didn't say that. She said, well, Pam, when you put February up there, she said, I can see why she said it that way, because I didn't say February of 2016. But I put in a thing, I said, Jamie and I said, I can't say what Jamie is doing right now. I don't know when him and Cyntoia met and all of this stuff. I said, I can't say that. I said, but February, our divorce was final. And then from there,
you did put something with the year was in there. She had already asked, you had already put the year at the above part of the statement. So then at the end, when you put February, you were referring. It looked like you were referring to that year, but the way you read it, I said I can see why they thought it was this February. And I said, Pam, you need to retract that. You need to call back or reach back out. And you did reach back out.
Yes, I did.
And say that's a miscommunication. And that's not what I meant. It's February, whatever. And they said that they would put it up.
Got the receipts in my phone. I got the receipts in my phone. So if you need pictures of the receipts to anybody that want to do it, if you want to do an interview with your girl, I got other receipts in my phone as well to Jamie, some of your people that hit me up. And I mean some of your people. And some of Cyntoia, that's her name, right? I don't want to
I think that's how it's
yeah. I don't some of her people hit me up and I got the receipts in my phone. And who are they talking about? They're not talking about her. They're talking about Jamie Long. That's who they're talking about. So my thing is that please stop lying. I'm praying for you. You have no idea how much I pray for you. I don't have anything in my heart against you. But when you get up on social media and you begin to lie, my thing is that God says, speak the truth. Speak the truth, regardless of who likes it or not. I'm not up here trying to, and you also alluded to me trying to make a name for myself. You have no idea how many opportunities, honey, that God has blessed me with to be able to do a song with this person, to do a song with that person. You have no idea how many times my phone has rung for so many different artists, and I'm not going to mention their names, but as a witness, Pastor knows. As a witness, my family knows. They know who called me and who I said no to. Because why? My thing is that I'm not just going to do anything for money, sir. But are you? Who are you? Who are you? I'm not just going to do anything for money. So I thank God at the end of the day, God bless you. I hope the best for you. But at the end of the day, Jamie, I don't think you want to continue down this road, because there is a God who sits high and he looks low, and he sees all and he knows all, and you know the truth. You know the truth, or maybe you have deceived yourself just that much to where you don't even realize the truth no more. But if you sit down, you really know what went down. You and everybody else, all of your little fake clones and all of that stuff that's around you, you have no idea how many of them that's in the inbox speaking about you, sir. You have no idea. So when it comes to what you said, alluded to the soft-spoken Pamela, you know what? Yes, did I get loud with you? Yes, I did, because I had to. Who lives in a house with a man that they're afraid of? Come on, Jamie. You know what you did to me. You know what you did to me. You know all the stuff that you did. You know all the things that you said. You even said something to a cat that was supposed to be on my team, called himself my brother. You told him that you was going to break me. You told him that that's what you was going to do. I was too close to my family. I was too close to my mother, that you was going to break me. Do you remember having that conversation with him? With the initials K to the B? You don't remember that, do you? Do you remember the conversations that you had? I don't think you remember. You know who the initials are, right? And so do I. Everybody else might not know, but I know. And so do you. Check yourself. Examine yourself and examine your heart to see where you are, because you are out here saying that you are a Christian man. And I hope you really have changed. But honestly, your fruit don't say that you have, because you're lying. Okay.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay. And I'm not gay.
Come on, somebody.
Somebody-
Not.
I think the thing about that is that, like, y'all, some things, I think if people, and everybody's different, but I think if people have some type of sense, like, you could, you know, like, you could have a bunch of women somewhere and they could be fine, just like on the TV show Girlfriends, my girlfriends. But then, because Pam had a past, just like a lot of us have a past, and hers was just public, and a lot of y'all's are hidden, but she had a past, she's talked about it, so now that she's delivered from her past, every woman that she's around, she's now gay. It's like every heterosexual person, just because you're a male doesn't mean I like you. Like, he's a man, he has a penis, I like you. No, I don't. It's a particular type of person I might like or be attracted to. So just because Pam is not gay, but if somebody is gay, it doesn't mean that another woman, like, if you're a woman, it doesn't mean you like every woman. And as a man, it doesn't mean you like every man. But that's something that people will try to do and say because I guess they feel like it hurts or it's going to bother you. It doesn't. And I told Pam,
when your cousin said, "I'm not saved," what's up?
She's more bothered. I
love you, Quan.
She's more bothered for me than me. I was like, listen, because this one over here has been my longest friend, and that's over 35 years. And people have said we're gay. Oh, they gotta still be gay. They still friends. Oh, they're gay. That's they gotta be gay.
And neither one of us have ever had a past.
And that's my best friend. It's just what it is. So I don't care. Like, I don't care.
Straight garbage.
And Jamie knows that, but he has to. Maybe for his thing as a man, he felt bothered that the fact that you didn't, I guess, bow down or you challenged him in ways. So now it must be another reason to do that. So, and I told Pam, don't
and nobody would be talking to him or about him at all. If he did not get married to someone who was in the news already and who had a strong following about being released from prison, which was a horrific thing. Everybody was fighting for her to be released, and again, none of this was said until after she was released. Was he really this married man when she was in prison? Who knows? I know how he acted when he was married to you.
Come on, JB.
So
come on.
So for me, I've seen this person, and I'm not saying that people cannot change. See, that is not what I am saying. I pray to God that he's changed, but his fruit that he is doing right now, the fruit that he's putting out there is rotten.
Well, of course, they're going to say someone from his camp, but the information from his camp,
but you never talk to his camp.
Exactly.
His camp doesn't know anything unless he told them.
My thing is, I've seen the receipts in Pam's phone. Where they're and I can't tell Pam's business, but like some of these receipts are people who are reaching out, like everybody's just reaching out to Pam, like, and I'm like, Pam, and she was getting overwhelmed, and I was like, wait, first of all, what do they want you to do with this information? Like, why are they reaching out to you? Like, do they want you to make it public? No, they speak up for themselves, but a lot of people don't. But I do know one thing.
You sure can tell.
There was a person who was going to kill Jamie.
Come on,
like he went to his
the house.
Family's okay.
He went,
but literally, and then because Pam knew him or whatever, he called Pam, and Pam talked him out of it. Like, please, like, stayed on the phone witnessing to this person. Like, no, you try to make a change in your life, and you whatever. He was like, no, he stole money and blah blah blah, and it's a street type thing. It was a different type of dude, very different. Not.
He was in his house. He went to the house, was sitting amongst his family. He didn't even know, and he asked them, "Where is he at?" They said he at the movies. That joker went, they called him, he was like, I'm at the movies. He went to the movies. And the young man was actually he was in a gang. And so he knew him, and he said, no, he said he playing with my money. So, and the young boy had given his life to God. He said, no. He said, I'm sitting outside.
About the house.
He told me about the girls at the house. He was just like, Pam, he was like, I'm so sorry this dude, J Long, playing you out. He's like, all these girls in this house. He's like, he was like, this ain't right. I was like, it's
and
fine.
She just talked and ministered and talked and ministered and talked. And minister to this man and said, no, like, please don't do this, your life. Like, she went there. And this is after they were divorced.
Yes.
This was after. They were already divorced. And she's just begging and pleading with this man and praying on the phone with this man for a minute so that he would not put himself in that type of predicament. But because he, it's different. When you got the mentality, you just got, it's street stuff. So literally, and this is after the divorce. And so, and there's other things that are in her phone of people just,
yes,
this is what he did, and this is what he did, and people,
the girls hitting me up, all of them.
You just giving, I was trying to hop you.
Yeah, there's so many of it's just people. I mean, they just hit me up, Pam. I know, because him and his cousins did this, that, and the third. All they do is pray. This is the stuff that's in my phone, the receipts of the women that he was messing with. So my thing is like I'm like, yo, I'm not making this up. I'm not putting stuff out there. But when I released what I said, as far as just one statement, and I said that he was diabolical because the way that he's moving,
that's a strong statement. He's
very diabolical. And so
and
with that,
gloves with rings.
So yep, and so yo, everybody, it seemed like everybody started hitting me with this stuff, and I'm like, yo, do y'all want me to say something? Is this the reason why you sending this stuff? They said no, because some of them said we waiting, because that one dude said because we gonna get him. I said,
glory to God.
I said,
glory to God.
And before I say this, and I just want to ask Jamie, my brother called you, right? Did you hit him back? My brother called you. Did you hit him back?
Of course not.
Why not? Because you did call my brother and asked him, right? You don't remember. Can you ask your sister to calm down? Because my brother was believing some of the stuff that you were saying. He gave you the benefit of the doubt. I'll say it like that. P, I know P, but my brother didn't want the mess. Because my brother didn't want to get upset. P, nah, come on, P. Nah, come on, P. Just don't do it. But my brother called me. It's a different story now. Because my brother know all the lies. Do you remember going to my brother's job with me? And you asked my brother for my hand in marriage? You don't remember that, though, but it was 2 months, right? You sat in the car across from my brother looking you eye to eye. He said, man, I really do appreciate it. He said, because this is my sister and I love her. You don't remember the conversation? Let me refresh for you. But it was just 2 months, right? So if it was just 2 months and it wasn't really anything that happened, why when my brother called you ain't pick up this time? You heard the message, right? I'm pretty sure you did. Yes. I'm going to leave it as such.
Yes, God.
Okay.
Tonight is the night
Jesus.
where the truth shall be told.
And I'll just say to address when he says she's trying to revive her career, Pam has been doing music for a long time. She has never stopped. She just went solo and she's doing her thing. So I don't even get what that statement is about. But again, you have to understand, as I said to Pam, when people have a platform, or at least he has one right now because of his wife.
Yeah, he has not one. She
has a platform, but he's on her platform, whatever. And so even with that, people are going to use it, and then some people are just some people just gossipy, like, ooh, what's the tea? And it is what it is, and the truth will always come out. It's going to come out. The truth is going to come out. And again, we've been praying that he has changed, but based on the people sending you messages now, real time, it's like the change hasn't happened yet. So hopefully it has, but yeah, we understand somebody from his camp, that letter was not, it's fabricated. And again, she talked about how the miscommunication about the year, she never intentionally said that, oh, we just got divorced. No, the way, if you see it, even if you read it or post it, the way it was communicated, I could see how they would think that. But she also went back and said, no, that's not what I meant.
Absolutely.
This is the year that we were divorced.
Have all the receipts in my phone.
That. Please update that statement. And I don't know if they did or not, because she ma'am. Just left it alone.
And the young lady, she hit me back in my thing, and she said, okay, Pam, I'll be sure to update it. That's exactly what, and I got it all in my phone.
And whether she did or not, it was already out there. You know what I mean? So, and I know when I got it, I got it. I'm never up that late, but I happened to be up late, and somebody started hitting me up with all this stuff. And I was just like, oh boy. I said, all right, let me talk to Pam before we even have church. I didn't want her blindsided, just so she would know what this video was saying, and she'd be okay. And we pray, are you all right?
Yes.
And everything else. So that's what that was about.
I thank God.
But the truth is always going to prevail. It is.
It is. Yeah.
That's what media do. That's what media does. Sometimes they put out, you can say whatever you want on media. You can say whatever you want, and people will believe it. And so whether they believe you or not, the truth will always prevail.
It will always prevail. Amen to that. Yes. So, all right, somebody. You already know what time it is.